I'm Justin from NIE. Today, this interview will be about finding out more about the A-level syllabus, whereby we explore the challenges and opportunities for both teachers and students.
Good morning to you too, Justin. I have been designing curriculums for very long, since you were still swimming. So, it is an honor for me to share my extensive experience with you and your attentive audience.
On to the first question. I was taught in NIE that there was a large wedge of a difference between the intended syllabus and the implemented syllabus. What are your thoughts, Professor?
I think many times curriculum planners who are stuck in their ivory tower find it very difficult to understand the challenges on the ground, the challenges that teachers face.
So what are some of these challenges that teachers might face when implementing the A-level syllabus?
First and foremost, we have to appreciate that JC history students are not homogeneous like the communist bloc. That is why we have 3 different syllabi to cater to them. I think the foremost challenge to teachers is how to pitch their lessons so that all their students in the class are engaged.
But most JC history students would have already taken history in secondary school, so that could be something in common between them, yes?
That isn't necessarily true. Sometimes JC students, because of their experience, come with a certain baggage of how history should be done. You cannot teach an 18-year-old dog new tricks, so it might be difficult to get all of them to relearn certain bad habits they picked up previously.
I think another big issue is how to balance between content mastery and skills, and I am glad to see that the JC syllabus now has a compulsory source-based component that explicitly tests how students analyze and understand sources. That is important for a historian, don't you think, Professor?
You are right, young man. But we must also appreciate how this is part of a larger problem, which is our obsessive focus on examinations. Content is necessary to do well, not so much skills. Many students will think, no need to tell us how to evaluate the source. Just tell us the model answer. We go back, memorize, then can already. The sun will rise, the fish will swim, and I will get my A.
Yes, I remember that my teacher in JC drilled us heavily on content, especially on the United Nations. In fact, during the exams, some of us actually panicked when we found out that the question was not something we had memorized about. That was harrowing.
That is precisely what I mean. You can teach a student everything about communism, but if that same student cannot answer a question on why communism and democracy are ideologically opposed, then what is the point? What is the point? What is the point? We need to teach our students not just how to absorb knowledge, but also to apply it. Knowledge, after all, transcends time and space. Hey, wait, I wear my shoe back first.
So, what can be challenging for an A-level teacher in a classroom or lecture?
Many people think that JC students, the top 20%, are the educational elites and that they are motivated and intelligent. That is a dangerous assumption to make. Not all of them are like that. As a future history teacher, you have to appreciate that students in your class can have a wide range of learning capabilities.
That means that a JC teacher will definitely not just experience high-level ability students, but also the lowest level. Yes, I see your point. In fact, while it is challenging to pace oneself and scaffold the way one teaches low-level students, it is also challenging for teachers to continuously engage those of high ability. Right, Professor?
Young man, you were once a JC student not too long ago, right? Did you face the same issues? I presume you were quite bright. Were you frustrated when the teacher had to continually pause to re-explain terms to the plebeians of average intelligence?
Yes, oh my god, I could not stand the slow pace that the teacher was going at. He gave them more scaffolding, such as explaining the way to define terms in an essay question. I mean, who does not know how to define these days? Right? Prof, would you say that time management is one factor that can constrain a teacher? Because I remember that when I was in JC, all my teachers used to tell me that I only had 2 years and that my life would depend on my A-level results. Sometimes I thought they were more stressed than me.
Yes, definitely. You only have 2 years in JC, so everything is very cramped. Your CCAs, your studies, the number of hours you sleep, even the length of your BGR, everything. Many teachers, as a result, believe in fear-mongering tactics, but these can sometimes backfire.
But based on your extensive experience, what do you think teachers need to overcome this lack of time?
Better time management.
Is that all?
Yes.
I'm sure that the syllabus is not all doom and gloom, is it? There are opportunities available for both teachers and students to springboard their own learning development under.
Of course. I apologize if I was too negative. I must clarify at this point that whatever views I express are entirely my own and do not reflect the views of the organization that hires me. Aiya, must say lah, this kind of things. Otherwise, I go back office on Monday, then see letter on my table. Die ah.
Okay. Going back to the topic, so what kind of opportunities does this syllabus provide for teachers?
I think JC teachers are in a unique position because their students are probably those who have taken history before. So the syllabus presents a chance for teachers to continue to cultivate the students' passion in history. My teaching philosophy is like gardening.
Prof, I don't think we need to go there. I agree with you. Many times the JC history teacher is the last contact the student has with the discipline, and what teacher says or do can have a very lasting effect on the student. I was privileged to have been taught by some good teachers myself, which in turn inspired me to become one. What about looking at the situation from a student's perspective? What can taking history in JC give them?
History offers them a chance for salvation. Because if they did not take history, they will have to take geography, or worse, econs. Their history teacher is a savior.
I was hoping for an answer along the lines of what sort of skills the study of history can actually impart to them. Perhaps you can tell me more about that?
Definitely. History teaches students crucial critical thinking skills like perspective taking and argumentation. This will put the student in good stead when he goes to university. You can think of JC history as a trial run for humanities study in the university.
What about those students who wish to push themselves further in history because of, say, their interests, or perhaps they want to use their grades to gain a government scholarship? What are some of the opportunities accorded to them?
Well, there's always the option of taking a H3 paper. You can think of the H3 syllabus as something like the S paper that you did in your time. Basically, the H3 syllabus encourages the best and the brightest to immerse themselves in historical inquiry. At the end of it all, students have to write a 3,000 word essay based on their research interests, so that allows them to further distinguish themselves from the plebeians.
But at the same time, a lot rests on the teacher, because as much as the syllabus seeks to increase students' appetite and interest for the subject, the teacher is the gatekeeper of knowledge that they have the most contact with. The syllabus allows stretching of the brightest minds, but the teacher must be able to turn the syllabus into a malleable platform that could engage and explore the full potential of bright students, especially for H3. Would you agree?
Very much so. Young man, you seem very well informed for an NIE trainee. May I know who your history teacher in NIE is? I would like to meet her.
Huh? Oh, look at the time! How time flies, Professor. I must get back to class. Thank you so much for your time. To show my appreciation, can I have a photo of you to frame it up?
Oh, absolutely. I will post the photo on your e-portfolio so you can chronicle your learning journey. But if that does not work, never mind. I will share a document with you on Google Docs.